sitting up on Summit, and one marked state trooper vehicle, two black SUVs. There's three state trooper vehicles escorted four Antifa shuttle buses right here front center. There was actually five vehicles total. There was three up front, two in the back. They escorted right here, waited for them to get off their buses, and they had the state troopers unloaded and took their positions. Watch. There's that guy. He had his lights on. They were coming, and then there's the ones up front too. They escorted, and each one of those buses are labeled. They're all paid charter buses.
Look at that, bro.
Check this out. Watch. Here's the black SUVs up front, and let's wait till you see who leads it.
Wow. They freaking brought damn Antifa here.
They escorted them here.
You
literally.
got to be.
Lights flashing.
You got to be effing kidding me.
Lights flashing.
Patriots, are you guys watching this? You guys share this video, please. You got to be kidding me. On video.
I watched him do it.
Hell no, bro.
Hola. How you doing, V. Freeman? Good to see you. Well, they can't be doing that. That's impossible. There is no Antifa. They don't exist. So they can't be escorting anybody anywhere. How are you doing, B. Freeman? Welcome to the show. So Dutch farmers protesting now, too. They're being offered fines up to $4,500 for protesting in their country. I'm still alive. That's good. Glad to hear it. We have somebody else in here who's not talking to us, but that's all right. We get a lot of lurkers. So welcome to the show. So I'm going to take a look. I'm going to rerun that for those who are showing up without the sound so high. But I want you to take particular attention to the
and one marked
vehicles he's
two black SUVs. There's three
commenting on here.
Vehicles escorted four Antifa shuttle buses right here front center.
Escorted by police.
Actually, five vehicles total. There's three up front, two in the back.
An organization that doesn't exist. Hey, Christos, how you doing?
State troopers unloaded and took their positions. Watch. There's that guy. He had his lights on. They were coming, and then there's the ones up front too.
Hey, Oleg.
They escorted.
It was you.
One of those buses are labeled. They're all paid charter buses.
Look at that, bro.
If anyone wants to pop up, there's the link.
Check this out. Watch.
Just had a few stories I wanted to talk
There's the
about.
black SUVs up front. And let's wait till you see.
But this was ultimately curious for me, watching the state troopers escort an organization that doesn't exist.
Brought damn Antifa here.
They escorted them here.
You
literally.
got to be.
Lights flashing.
You got to be effing kidding me.
In the daylight, too.
Patriots, are you guys watching this? You guys share
Now
this
they're
video,
past just
please.
escorting them
You gotta be kidding me.
to the hotel overnight and then busing them in.
Hell
Now they're escorting
no,
them
bro.
in. Oh, man. So that's kind of an interesting one. I liked. Watching that was hilarious. Let me go back here. Let's see, where are we here? I wanted to point out another one here. Let's see if we can find it quickly. It was Russell Brand doing some talking to one of the I think it was CNN, but he trashed him quite soundly. It was really hilarious. Let's see here. Sorry I don't have these lined up. I'm not really a great news channel, but I do try. Put out a little bit of news. Let's see. Give me a few moments to find that. And we'll get to that one in a bit. Another Antifa in Georgia. Yeah. Wonder away. Yeah. Wonder away. Yeah. So that was just amazing to me that an organization that doesn't exist. Let's try up here. I thought it was hilarious watching Russell Brand trash this guy. Oh well. No. Thought we had him there, but that's not Russell Brand. Looks a lot like him, doesn't it? All of these are noteworthy. Oh yeah, that's something we're going to have to look at too. Silicon Valley's having huge problems. Hey Alice, how are you doing? That's what B. Freeman does too. Good afternoon to you, Alice. Silicon Valley's collapse. Bitcoins are taking dives. There are banks down there having run on money, which means that they are unable to produce the money for the people in their accounts. So the crash is, part of the crash is happening. I don't know if this is going to be a full collapse, full-on collapse. They may shore it up. Shoring up the other banks should stop it with some extra fiat money that they've been pumping in since before the beginning of the pandemic. So a lot of people think that that was one of the reasons, and I concur, other than, you know, wanting to take total control of us. The bank collapse that they caused, they know it's going to happen. Right now, they're just in free fall, trying to buy up all the assets, land and property they can, while it's in free fall, and they're stealing all of the money, all the fake money they made. But that was going on before the pandemic started. They were pumping billions of dollars into the banks just to keep them afloat. These are things we have to go back and remember, because then we can see how this collapse happened. Where the money went, it all went to the banks. And then, of course, it went to the pharma companies and the millionaires. Russell, cheeky chap, yeah. If you only knew how I wonder and how it bleeds through. That's interesting, B. Freeman. So they may try to shore up the banks again. I don't know if they really need to distract us again. They've got enough distractions going on at the moment. Winterland? Just got, oh, okay. Hi, Spartan. Good to see you. I just got done moving snow at my estate. Started at 5 p.m. yesterday, stopped at midnight. Nice. You have an estate. Right on. You going to share that estate? Be a good comrade and share it with Bill Gates. He needs your land. I don't know how much land he's bought up now. His approval rating is down around 3%. I imagine Schwab and his ilk are probably around the same. So, you have a nice place? Excellent. Yeah, I kind of got to Silicon Valley a little early, but that's all right. Let's see. Did want to show Russell Brand ripping this guy apart, but don't seem to be able to find the video at the moment. It was easy to find a little while ago. Let's see here. Sorry, these things make me laugh. Dutch farmer. Rebel News allows people to share, so let's take a look at that. Dutch farmer rebellion.
Got so many farmers here now consider moving border thing down again. This is. It doesn't make any
Oh, they're going to
sense.
tag
It's not
you.
real.
Okay.
What I see is that a problem has been created in order to put something out there that has nothing to do with complete control of people, how people do the farming, what they have to provide in the national and international economy. That is how I look at it.
So speaking to many of the protesters here, many of them think that actually these nitrogen emission reducing policies have nothing to do with climate change, but are actually in fact all to do with population. So why do you think Mark Rutte is doing this?
Well, in a collectivistic transition, in a communist revolution, you will always have the first attack at the farmers because they have land and they produce the food. And the aim, I think, I might be wrong, I think it's middle class, reduce all the entrepreneurs. And then you've got the fishermen,
Good
and
immigrants too.
the butchers and the middle class entrepreneurs. And once they finish that, you have a gigantic state, the almighty state, that everything, there's no opposition anymore. And that's the sort of transition that I feel we fight this tooth and nail to get rid of this, because, well, we've seen it in the Soviet Union, we've seen it in North Korea, we've seen it in China, we've seen it in Cuba, and before you know it, you're stuck with people who are in control, who are not there out of your interest. No, they're only working for their.
So why are the Dutch government policies not a good thing?
They're selling land out. When you got a land like the Dutch, every country got to see his land as a company. So when the government over here was in the business, they get fired a long time ago.
Yeah.
But they can make mistakes and they can keep going on. We got normally we got a good country. Normally, good farm, good. But years, everything's coming down. Everything, the farmers, everything. When you sell the land out to the European Union, but Brussels, that we got to do. It's not. Just don't live like Germany or the UK or Belgium.
What do you want to do?
I think they want to make one big city of it, 3 cities, and they gonna make the food as a supply. When you don't do your
The EU is a
so
problem.
you gotta stay in
UN,
line. Then they will
NATO.
with 40, 50 years, they
All
don't
of
need
these
police anymore.
organizations, they need
Because
to
when you
go.
don't listen, you don't get
We
food.
keep funding them, and they keep
Will the Dutch government
pumping
policies
their
have a
policies
negative
into our-
effect on farmers?
our governments.
Yes,
It's terrible.
yes, very
Right.
negative, and not only on the Dutch, it's global. Dutch farmers are a big, hoe zeg je dat voorbeeld? A big, well, the rest of the world looks up to us. We're so small, but so
Big agricultural industries.
Yeah, they produce a lot of food.
that's why the rest of the world will be affected.
So after what has been an incredibly peaceful protest here in Zuiderpark in The Hague, nearly everyone here is of a similar belief that this has nothing to do with reducing nitrogen emissions and having a positive impact for climate change, but is actually in fact all to do with crop control.
Nitrogen.
Another thing
carbon
everyone here
emissions.
seems to
They're
understand,
making all the
Netherlands is one of the large cultural exporters
illegal.
in the world. So if the Dutch farmers fall, ultimately, it will have a knock-on effect across the entire planet.
Absolutely.
This has been Callum Smiles, Rebel News, here in The Hague.
Yeah, the Dutch farmers are going. They're being. They can be facing fines up to $4,500 for their crimes of protesting. Hi, Brian. Yeah, the EU does need to be deleted. Yeah, potash. You'd be better building. What's that? Psychonautic crash pods for mine studies. Okay. So it's brutal what they're doing to the farmers. They're doing it to farmers in Canada too. They're trying to press nitrogen usage and fertilizer usage in Canada as well. One of our provinces, Alberta, has struck back saying that they will not do this, that it's not up to the federal government to regulate things like that. We'll see how well that goes. We have, like your governor, but premier, we call them in Canada. That is standing up and saying some good stuff. We'll see. We've seen the double psyop, and it happens, right? They put these people up as our saviors, and they cover both ends. It's like covering both ends of a bet, but they come out on top in this way, unfortunately. That guy did a good piece on Ireland. Yeah. Rebel News is they're covering almost everywhere. If you guys donate, if you guys can donate to one of your local alternative news sites, even $5-10 is going to help them out quite a bit. Get them out to these places and keep them going, and getting you the real news. Speaking of sellouts and shills and stuff, we've recently been looking at Elon Musk is a really good guy, and he's doing good stuff.
China, the Lao Beijing, gives us an opportunity to
But listen
throw
to
off
this.
the chains of working class people everywhere, right? Regardless of race or gender or.
This is Steve Bannon. A lot of people don't like him.
Right.
I don't watch him
and
much.
we have a unique opportunity to do that in this, and that's going to come. That's why populism's on the rise, and particularly that's why right wing. I'm proud to be a right wing populist. That's why right wing populism's on the rise.
So Min Liang Tan, co-founder and CEO of Razer, tweeted, "I think Twitter should buy SVB and become a digital
This will
bank."
probably get
Elon
shut
Musk
down.
replied, "I'm open
I
to
don't
the
know if
idea."
I've done any community guideline strikes.
Seems a bit
but
silly.
This is
I don't
supposed
know.
to be
How would
fair
you,
use.
what would you think about that? Would that be
I
a
think
Because we're
big-
until
discussing
Elon
it as
Musk
news.
starts letting back on the most
In our
the
class.
true anti-CCP people that he keeps blocked off there, myself included. Not that I want to go on.
So apparently
No,
he's claiming
he's owned by the Chinese Communist Party. What are you talking about? Tesla.
That's what he's
his only
claiming.
only thing of real value is Tesla. He uses it for margin loans. He sells the stock. The Shanghai joint venture is 100% controlled by the CCP. This is why he never goes after the CCP. This is why he always backs off. This is when they had the protest. They had the protest about the lockdowns of COVID. He will not do it. Elon Musk is a total and complete phony. He is in bed in a business partner. He's done some good stuff, letting stuff out, with Taibbi and others. It's fine, but he is owned lock, stock, and barrel by the Chinese Communist Party, and he acts like it. Right?
There was a story recently that they warned
That's
him
horrible.
to stop talking about lab leak.
100%.
He's got, I think there was
They
another
want him to
story
take down the tweets he did the first time. Now he didn't take them down, but you notice he didn't have any more up there after that.
And I wonder if he said, okay, I won't tweet more about it. But here's the issue I see with the CCP in the United States, and if the United States falters, if this fourth.
By the way, the
turning-
CCP Chinese companies are all in the Silicon Valley Bank.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing they're
So-
already talking about. We think
But
maybe up to a third of those innovative companies may be CCP.
Mm-hmm. So that's unfortunate news. I really had to, I have hopes for Elon Musk, but we can never be too careful. We got to keep our eyes on the prize of freedom. And if we see people that are controlled opposition, we should point out the possibility of it, right? And never trust in one man entirely. I don't know what type of government we're headed for, but I think it's going to be a lot different than what we have now. These people are able to get in control. I don't know if we can get control of our governments again and stop them from abusing the power, but I'm hoping that we can. But there's got to be some type of oversight for people in power to be able to meet in private with others running other countries, businessmen, making deals in the background. That's got to stop. These people need to be reined in. There's way too much money being thrown at them from other governments, from non-governmental organizations. And it's a criminal act. It's absolute collusion. It's treasonous. Justin Trudeau apparently receives a briefing from Klaus Schwab every so often, almost every day apparently, on policies to implement. And one by one, he's implementing them. Yep, DeSantis. Now I've heard, we've covered Elon Musk. Now we've got DeSantis coming up. And he apparently, he apparently signed through a bill about a half a year ago that allows forced inoculations. So I'm not too trusting of DeSantis at the moment. Some of his actions seem sketchy. Muskrat, yeah. I heard DeSantis is Scully and Bones, but not the Fox and X-File type. Yeah, exactly. Muskrat, use his full name. Anagram is lone scum. Nice. Yeah, we've got people up here. We have a guy named Pierre Poilievre, and he's looking a lot like DeSantis. But he's in what's called the Conservative Party of Canada, and they're known for talking out of both sides of their mouths. He's trying to please the left and the right, and showing himself really to be a shill, just a political shill with no real values that he's putting forth. He won't stand up for the truckers, and people think he's great. He's claimed he's against the these NGOs, but I haven't seen him do one action really against them. He claimed he was going to clear anyone associated with the World Economic Forum out of his cabinet. And he hasn't ousted one person from his cabinet. Hi, Christos. Good to see you again. He's awfully concerned about the climate, and he supports Ukraine. These both are UN, Davos, these are all agendas. The climate change hoax, the war in Ukraine, big money-making thing. Yeah, right, B. Freeman? Noel comes, I'm not going to say the rest, but yeah, I get you. Neoliberal fascists being promoted. And it happened with people should have learned, a lot of people vote for parties because they believe in the party line. Unfortunately, these days, the party lines are not there anymore. There is no left, right. There's no liberal, conservative. They're a uniparty, only concerned about making money. And somehow they think they're going to survive this control system that's coming. But as we've seen in past takeovers like this, what happens is they kill them. They get rid of all these people. I'm sure they have assurances for money. What's money worth when they make it completely worthless? They're just doomed as us, but they don't realize it. Their children are doomed. And they should have seen it when they were, going after Hollywood people with the jibby jab. Everybody's been jibby jabbed, and they're all dying. It's a cruel system that they want to implement. And you can see the control structures. Chris Skies. I don't know who Chris Skies is. Who's Chris Sky? Let's look up him. See if I've seen him. Christopher Sakochia, referred to as Christopher Sky, is a Canadian conspiracy theorist known for his involvement in anti-mass lockdown. Okay, he's on YouTube. Let's check him out on YouTube. See what his titles are. Let's see, go home. Give me a second here. Chris Sky. Arrest warrant issued for anti-mass rally organizers, including Chris Sky. Does he have a channel name? Channel. There he is, Chris Sky, Chris Sky. Okay, I think we found him. Yeah, okay, Chris Sky, just no E on the end. So let's see his videos. It says he only has 59 subscribers, but it does look like the gentleman you're talking about. Videos, no, not him. It is him, but it's somebody reposting his stuff, I think. Chris Sky. Hard to find him. I don't know much about him, unfortunately. Sounds familiar, yeah. I got a lot more out of the Google search than I did out of YouTube. Let's see news on him. Conspiracy theorist running for mayor of Toronto. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, I have seen him around before. He seems to be running with the right crowd. I haven't done a deep dive into him yet. Okay, yes, I have heard of him. I think he's a populist. I'm not sure on his views, though. We have to really watch these people. Fringe conspiracy theorists target 15-minute city push. Okay. So that's one of the things he's against. How his passion for basketball. Okay, was he a basketball player? He may have been. Boston Red Sox, sky's limit. Chris Sale, no, okay. Let's go for videos. Outspoken opponents of lockdowns measures. Now he's running for office. 1 year ago, predicting exactly what was going to happen, which is happening now. Chris Sky. Okay, so if he's, I have seen him. I think I've seen him on Rebel News as well, which is a really good sign. Right? So that is a good sign. I would, even with Elon Musk and these other people, we have to take the good things that they do and use them, and just realize that they're really possibly not on our side. They'll make, because they have to do that. That's their programming. The way their programming works is they can tell the truth, apparently. This is what I've heard. They can tell the truth on almost anything about the government, about, depending on who they are. But they'll have one thing. And there seems to be, each guy seems to have one thing, even people like Alex Jones. They all seem to have one thing. And, Chris Sky, we'll have to watch out for him and see what his one thing is, right? Chris Sky is the shit? Awesome. Yeah, I hope he is. But we've got to take the positive that these people do and use it. So, it's, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, Keep the baby, right? If they throw us a baby, let's keep it. Elon Musk allowed us the Twitter files, but it seems like he's a Chinese operative, pretty much beholden to the Chinese Communist Party. But if each of these people has only one thing they can't talk about, we can break through with the truth, right? Because it's happening. Like Alex Jones' big thing is the virus. Now, I'm not a big believer in a virus. I believe in terrain theory and what they're doing to us. So that's his one thing. He has enough knowledge and enough information. He could realize that people getting sick comes from things they put in people before. That's what Dr. Judy Merkowitz says. What is his name? Can't remember the name of the doctor. But they had it. There was a great conversation over what was happening. And I can't say how it's done. You guys can guess. But somehow people are getting what are basically genetic toxins. Now, how they're getting them, I can't say. You can imagine on your own, because I'm in Canada. And I can't talk about that. So, but that's his one thing, is he keeps pushing the virus theory, which is kind of a hoax. Transmission of a virus there's only one thing I can't talk about in a bad way, and that's vaccines. So we'll say that the vaccines apparently, according to our government, are safe and effective. That's what they keep telling us. Saw a pink pentafurry. What's a pentafurry? Choosing neo pronouns. He's a. Oh, okay, that's a name. Pentafurry. He's a politician too. Okay. Yeah, these a lot of these politicians are going to talk, and a lot of these people are going to talk out of both sides of their mouths. They're going to have one thing that they're not allowed to talk about or demean. What's the amazing product, B? Tell us. Furry wearing large pentagram pentacle in pink ears. Okay. A furry. Oh, you mean like one of those people? Okay, you can show. You can show me. Okay. You lost me, B. Freeman. You're like, it's like you're speaking in code or something. I tell you, they've messed with our language so much. It's hard to make sense of it sometimes. Nobody wants to come up and chat? Christos, you want to come up? I have trouble keeping the chat going myself. That's why I do remote viewing classes. I don't have to talk all that long or consistently. Nearly Spud's time. I don't know what Spud's time is. Yeah, I know, eh? The other night, we were watching this show, me and my wife, on these female sports people who had too much testosterone, and I had to watch a lot of it before I could actually figure out what was really going on there. They were passing, people off as what they weren't. Hey, Christos, good to see you.
Hey, yeah, what's up? I missed. What are we talking about now? What show or movie are you speaking on?
Oh, well, they're all over the place. What are you on about? What's your topic?
Well, you know what? I felt inspired to come up here and say, I get the vibe that you have a very fulfilled, happy life. You're married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like your background. You always seem to be in a very balanced Zen state. And I'm not sure what it is. There's just like these kind of like random factors that kind of have stuck out to me. And I've been able to determine that it seems that you're pretty happy with life. And it shows with the energy that you put out.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that takes work, right? You have to work at it. And years and years of work, right? And life can change in an instant too, and you still have to try and keep that happy attitude. I've had ups and downs in my life for sure, but yeah, right now I'm definitely in a real happy place. Yeah, life is good. I have a half decent job. I'm not a millionaire, but I never really wanted to be a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has picked up. Oh, hi, Ting Ting. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. And then, can't forget. I tend to forget this. I always seem to miss the classes, but I tend to forget that you actually do the remote viewing classes and whole subject matter. And it's just funny because it's like it's in the title or it's in the name of your YouTube channel, yet it seems to be something that I tend to forget. It's like, oh yeah, he does stuff with remote viewing as well.
Yeah, everyone reads the Max Vision, but then they kind of skip over the last part.
It started out.
Hey,
It
Kat.
started out as mainly remote viewing, right? Your
Yeah,
channel?
I do a lot more stuff now. I do, yeah, I did. That was that was a cool thing. I did remote viewing in a shopping mall. The first time I actually did it, I was watching a little video.
While you were in a shopping
Yeah,
mall?
I sat down at a table with a coffee.
What the?
And I did remote viewing, just an image, right? But I got it exactly.
Yeah.
So that day I went home,
Wow.
put my phone on put my phone up in front of me and started doing remote viewing. I had one person show up for, oh gosh, first 10 classes. I'm glad one person showed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, one person showed up. She did awesome. And then after that, I had Deborah show up and Shannon Kling. Haven't seen her for years. But yeah, and people just kept getting hits and doing great on it. So this is great way to, give back to people and stuff. So
Yeah, and it seems like there's been quite a few people that maybe didn't necessarily expect to be inclined to do something like that, but then sure enough, that openness and that willingness, I guess more people have it than they might realize, and they can pick something up like remote viewing.
everybody can remote view it that I've seen. Everybody. You just
Right,
have to
exactly.
be able to. You just have to be willing to try.
Right. It's like it's part of our makeup of like the being that we are, is to be able to do stuff like that. Actually, it's just we've come such a far way from a time when that was like incorporated into human life
Yeah.
and civilization. We've gotten so far away from it. So
Yeah.
but this is like an integral part of who we are as beings, to be able to basically go outside of okay, I don't want to
Yeah, to reach outside of ourselves, right?
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to start
Gathering
saying
what they
things
call
and I didn't
remote
want to
viewing is
butcher it.
gathering information at a distance. So whatever information we're gathering, whether it's past, present, future, yeah, that's really what it is. It's a very simple explanation of it.
So would you say, does it involve going outside of space and time?
Reaching out.
Sometimes, or all
Sometimes,
the
yeah.
time?
Well, reaching out, right? However people view it. Some people view it like you go out of your body. Some people view it like you're bringing information in, messages come in. I think it happens different ways, But what it really is that inner knowing, that intuition that you're trying to increase.
Yep.
That little tap on your shoulder. Hey, buddy, turn left instead of right, And that's what seems to be what it is. Hey, Miss Anonymous. Hi, Brian. I survived 8 years active duty army with 2 combat. Wow, God has your back. Yes. See, and that's a place where you would want your intuition, right, Brian? I would want it there too on the battlefield. That's and people, we do remote viewing like commando style, I call it, because it's one after another, and that's usually not the way it's done. It's done in a very elongated, drawn out way usually, and we do it bang, bang, bang. And you guys you do amazing. Like, I can't believe the results you guys got.
Hey, so I had to step away for a second. I'm doing delivery orders, and
awesome.
Actually just turned out that this lady was supposed to have a drink. That wasn't made clear though by DoorDash, so it's fine though. She was super nice, didn't even care. I offered to go back and get her the drink, but she said, "Nah, don't worry about it." Some people are really nice out here. They're not gonna sweat it if something happen with the order, thankfully.
Yeah. People have to get calm down. Actually, some people are just ready to explode on anything, and I think it's not them. It's what's being put on them. The whole societal thing, the frequencies, the electricity, even their phones. It's all meant to drive them insane and make them aggressive, and it's working on a lot of people. Oh yeah, you got a final.
Yeah, agitation.
Yeah, there is a lot of agitation around, and you can actually map it. I have used the ElectroSmart app, and my wife she works in retail, and we mapped it for several years. And when there was a rise up to a level of 68 in my area, different areas have different levels that they operate at. But in my area, it was 68 would be an agitation level. People would start getting agitated at that level. And then past that, it doesn't stay agitation. It's weird. It goes from agitation to they start getting sick, which is a shift from a lower frequency to a higher amount of electricity being put out.
Man, and it's something I've considered recently is all the different variables that go into the strength of our auric field, and conceptualizing it as basically like a force field to a certain degree, and to remember that sure, there might be things pushing in from the exterior with frequencies, but we can also, if we're developing ourselves spiritually and physically and mentally, just strengthening our health and our energetic field, it seems that the healthier you are, the more in alignment that you are, the more you're able to push back and project outward versus having things come inward at you.
Yeah. People that have done the inward work, like looking inward, if they're still constantly looking inward, they can see it. Like when it happens, I usually can see it happening around me, and I'll come home, take a look at my meter, and because I try to stay lifted and happy all the time. That's it's good for your health, good for people around you, and that does create heaven on earth for you. So I don't really feel it as much. I feel it physically with pains and things like that. That's why I have to wear protection. But the mood thing, I've pretty much got control of. But you can sometimes feel negative thoughts, not the actual thought itself, but just the physical feeling of negativity coming in, and that's when they're trying to get to you. And if you can notice that and catch it, then you don't fall for their tricks.
Yeah, being able to like step outside of yourself within that moment and like take a step back, take a third person view, and really acknowledge what's actually going on there, and seeing that the energy and the thoughts are actually not being generated from you but coming to you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. Miss Anonymous sees auras. I wish I could see auras. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that's the tools we need to fight back against this, is our own inward reflection, and patience is absolutely one of the best things you can practice, like patience before you speak or react to things. Everybody could learn that. That would be really helpful. But people overreact, and they instantly react without thinking. And that's become a problem, I think. Heavy jumping jack device that was dangerous. Oh, God. Yeah, he's got a bit of static in the background. He's on his phone doing deliveries. But I appreciate him coming up. It kind of helps fill the space between my thoughts. I thought, oh, we lost him. Right? I thought everybody saw stuff when they closed their eyes, Miss Anonymous. Like, even when I was a child, I would close my eyes and I'd see images and shapes and beings and faces. What app is that? Oh, it's called ElectroSmart. Here, I'll type it in. You can find it at the App Store. I did buy an EMF detector as well for a while, but they're difficult to use for an overall application. Those apps like that, like the ElectroSmart, I don't know that there are others that are kind of similar, but not really. That app actually tracks each individual source and its power level, coming at you. So it's very detailed. Yeah, you see all that too, eh? Yeah, a lot of people just think it's normal. Hey, London man. Yeah, sure. If you want to pop in here for a few minutes, or are you busy? We were just discussing the mental attacks that we're under, the actual attacks on our psyche and the effect that electricity has on it. And they also use something called the Lily Wave. Most of my viewers have heard of me talk about this before. The Lily Wave, invented by John C. Lilly for the U.S. Navy back in the 1970s. What the Lily Wave is it's like radar. It sends out a pulse, collects information, and records that information, and then it can feed it back. And what it does is it collects emotional information through the wiring, 60 hertz, that runs on 60 hertz. You're live in 5 minutes? Okay. So what they do is you've got your house, they can do it through your house wiring, where they can send a pulse, it'll collect emotions, they can record that emotional state and send it back to you. So what they're looking for is negative emotional states to repeat back to you. Maybe they're looking for positive ones, I don't know. If they did that, I think it would be a completely different world. There you are, Christos. But what they do with these is they gather your negative thoughts and then they pump them back to you. They can do that specifically. If you look at the upgrades that they're making apparently on these power grids, they're putting in black boxes. That's a rumor. I haven't gotten any actual substantiation of that. But even with a small computer system, they can read your meter, they can control your devices. We know they have that power right through the grid to direct signals and control systems to individual houses. And now they've got the smart meters in there. That's an extra layer of control.
Well, they're putting down big black boxes, supposedly to try to track the weather or climate, as they would say.
Oh, okay. Is that their official story?
Did you? Yeah, it is. It is like it is official stories, actually. Yeah, I don't know if you were referring to that or something else.
I heard they're being put in the power stations. Where are these black boxes being installed?
Oh, okay. So, I think it's related, but they're different things here we're talking about.
Okay, where are the ones that you're talking about being installed?
They're being put like in key locations all around the world, based off of where they're expected. I don't remember exactly the exact locations, but there's a significance to where they're putting them geographically, and they're claiming that it's for tracking the climate and all these different areas based off of the what's going on within the geographical spot.
Huh.
It's like Space Odyssey 2001.
Well, that's a plausible story, but yeah, I don't know. We always know the multiple purposes of things. They might be using some of the devices in there to track the weather, but they usually add extra stuff. They did that in the streetlights. The Chinese streetlights. Hey,
There's definitely malevolence in there with those black boxes.
Yeah.
Data collecting, supercomputer nonsense.
Yeah, if they were painted with lead paint, they probably wouldn't work as well as they hoped. Just a thought.
Good to keep in mind.
Did you know that paintballs, apparently paintballs are very terrible on police riot shields, masks, and equipment, and it makes it very difficult to use all that stuff. Just another interesting thought. So if you had like a balloon filled with paint, don't do this to anyone, of course, but just an interesting thought. They did that in Ireland. The children did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's smart.
If Oleg's here, he could back that up, I think.
That's clever.
Yeah. Didn't know he had a brother that died. He has a stepbrother that's still alive who calls him an outright shill and a sellout. So
who?
Justin Trudeau, our prime minister.
Oh.
He has a stepbrother who speaks out quite prolifically about him.
Yeah, I've heard from him before.
Yeah. So we got the inside story on Justin, that he is basically what we think he is. Total sellout, interested in control. He was kind of bullied as a kid because he was kind of a dumbass. And, so,
right, yeah.
Imagine that as a world leader. Imagine that as a world leader, That's just bad news all around. Oh, Miss Anonymous has an interesting point. Maybe they were putting those black boxes on ley lines.
Yeah, there's definitely more to the story with what they were doing with those things.
Yeah, control of that energy grid would be awesome. That would really, because they want to take control of us in every way if they can. So it's getting, I'm hoping people are actually realizing this is going on now, because we've got to get rid of some, or at least change or augment some of this technology so that it can't be used for the purposes they want. Because eventually, if you've got a technology available for somebody to use nefariously, somebody's probably going to do it, which is unfortunate.
Right. If it can be done, it's going to get done by someone. Yep.
Right. Like there were things outlawed during the Second World War, like 3-sided bayonets, because the holes were too hard to stitch up. Well, there's things like the technology. There's quite a lot of appeals going on, but I don't know if they'll get anything done. There's court cases, but even one of the first court cases, the against Nokia, is 30 years old, and it's finally actually being put through court. So, you can bring up a case about damages for wireless technology, but they'll hold you off for 30 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Sab. Good to see you. The FBI confiscated Tesla's work. Well, now, Mr. Trump there might have had some, his ancestors may have had some access to that, because they own the hotel that Nikola Tesla was in. I think it was Trump's grandfather was friends with Nikola Tesla, or knew him quite well. So I often wonder how Trump ends up running around the world making peace. And I wonder if the possibility is there that Trump has access to some of Tesla's technology. There apparently are devices that can take people out, individuals, in a room amongst other people, just like that, pretty much vaporize them. Imagine if you had that power. Imagine if you were sitting in the room with a foreign diplomat, and you said, look, I want you guys to make peace. This is going to happen. And if you don't, I'm going to take you out. And I can do it right now. And you have some aid vaporized right there. That would convince you to make peace. I often wondered what he does. The government used his work, absolutely. I believe they used it for 9/11, vaporizing that building. How do you turn steel into dust? I don't have the knowledge on how to do that, but I bet the government does. Osiris in pieces, same old, yeah. Yeah, Kat, I caught that comment. That is absolutely a horror. People in trash bags. Submerged structures, interesting. Yeah, those were good. I see auras sometimes and other stuff. Just in time, Trudeau, Justin Trudeau. Yeah, he gets his dough all right. I noticed strange metal devices installed on the overhead lines at a pole. There are these bell-like structures. They're small bells. Those are surveillance. There's Christos.
Hey, how long are you going today?
Probably another little while, another half hour to an hour.
Okay, wonderful. I'm gonna hop on my computer. Just wanted to let you know I'm driving home right now, so I'll be on my computer. I'm gonna tap back in.
All right, you done work?
Yep.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you in a few.
All right, cool.
And the devices are removed. That's interesting, Kat. So strange metal devices on overhead line poles. I don't get the cancer elderly stuck in the middle at takeouts. Cancer elderly takeouts. Then the devices are removed. There are a lot of strange devices. There's a lot of devices up on the poles at intersections, cameras. There are devices for the fire and emergency vehicles. I believe those are large square panels. They're about a foot or so, usually white. They have a bell-like structure that they use that has cameras in them and infrared LED lights. They cover a large area. They have various other devices put at the intersections, but yeah, finding out what a lot of these things are is hard. Yeah, that sounds horrific. Yeah, those are horrible. Hi, Danny. Good to see you, hon. Hello to you. The Hutchison effect, right, B. Freeman? We know they took down the Twin Towers with something other than a plane, because even jet fuel just doesn't pulverize and make steel into powder. You know, and all the video. I like the video of the plane that kind of half disappears. That was their first use, I think, of projections in the sky. I don't know why they did that, because it seemed like they did run a plane in, but even that was Godzilla, right? Yeah, and even we see even the admission of the FBI involvement, or was it the CIA involvement in the JFK killing, and that is unprosecuted. Nobody's doing anything about it. This is ridiculous. No, yeah, right. There's no accountability and no yeah, and the public eats up the propaganda, and they're on to the next news cycle, right? That's why I was trying to bring up the banks in the beginning, before, 3-4 years ago, our governments were pumping money into them. All right. Is it a happy song? Is it an uplifting, upbeat song? Hold on. I'll have to give a quick listen to the lyrics to see if it's appropriate. It's a hope and praise song. Beautiful. Okay. Let me give a little listen and look like Metallic Duck, sort of. Interesting. There's a great document proving it. Sorry. No accountability. That comment jumped out. Nanotech. Metallic Duck. There we go. Explosive Victory, it's called. Oh, you had your nano juice, your nano squares, eh? Well, you can get nanotech on your salad too, I've heard. Pumpkin bread with drizzled cheese, cream cheese frosting. Danny, you gotta cook for us all someday. That'd be cool. Get together at a convention and we'll have Danny be the head chef there. She does some cooking shows. I've seen you do some little show us what you're making. I like those. I like cat videos if you guys make cat videos too. Those are about the only cat videos I'll watch, or pet videos. So, but they're all as funny. Good laughs. Yeah, Scotty Boy does need our healing energy. There's many that do. But we're personally connected with Scotty Boy, so we'll send him some extra. I'm still curious as to what a duck-like structure is. Also, we had an interesting theory come in from admin. We'll discuss that later, maybe, if we have time. Hey, Christos, you home? No link. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, you ought to get into a studio with some of your stuff there, Morgan. On Instagram? I'm not on Instagram. I don't do any other social media. I use YouTube, Gmail. That's it. Suppose everyone wants to get on Twitter. Yeah, it's victory. We are winning the war, guys. Slowly. But we are winning. And nobody wants to be under total control. Nobody wants their life scanned and watched for every moment, every detail. Nobody wants to live in poverty. Yeah, you can post stuff to my email if you want to contact me. You can use my email. I think it's on my About page. So I could view them as not a member, I think, can't I? I don't know. There you go. There's a link. Pumpkin spice. Yeah, I tried Discord for a while, but I just couldn't handle it. It was just way too much. My wife recently got Facebook. It takes up quite a bit of her time. You know, she's very busy with it. So I'm glad I never did FaceAche either. So, did you get that link, Christos? Pumpkin spice. Yeah, I'm making mead with apple and clove right now. Kind of like pumpkin spice. It's the spices for pumpkin. How you doing, Christos? Got you there. No sound.
Well, are people saying there's no sound? Because there was no sound for me on the YouTube, but now there's sound that came in here.
Is there? Nobody said anything. In chat.
Actually, I might be wrong. I didn't know if you said there was people saying there was no sound.
I can turn it up a bit. But it looks like the sound's on.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think it was just on my end then.
Okay. Give me a sound out in chat. Tell me if it's playing okay. The volume on is going up and down. That's why you should get into a studio. Even out the sound in a studio. Yeah, everybody's got sound. Yeah, I'm glad you can edit. It'd be hard to find a... Oh, we lost Christos again. He was doing something on his computer and tapped out. There he is. Time to assemble around the government buildings, horns and blow. Remember Jericho. That's good. Peaceful non-compliance is probably our best way. If we don't comply, if we don't go along, the money problem is going to be a hard one to get through, though. When they cut off the money, people are going to be in a huge panic when that happens. I don't know that where the protesting is going to make a difference. They don't care what we say, right? It's whether we go along with them or not. So compliance is their only real weapon. Compliance from us, compliance from the enforcers, If they don't have that, they have nothing.
I'm coming, yo. I'm coming, yo. I'm coming, yo. I'm coming, yo.
April 3rd is the date floating around. For what? I heard March 23rd or sometime in March is going to be, one guy said, is when they're going to trigger all the people that got the jab. And that they're going to take them out at that point. That would be a horror. One man that I saw on, what is that guy called? Oh, Badass Uncle Sam. Anyone heard of Badass Uncle Sam? He's a good guy. He does street interviews.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he had a guy come up, said he worked for the military, and said that on the 23rd, somewhere, I can't remember the exact date, but in March, they were going to put out the pulse to trigger the technology that they have installed. I hope it doesn't happen like that. I hope people's refusal is enough that they can't implement that technology. Because it seems like they need to do a lot more than one or two to have that implemented. Because they kept asking for more and more and more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the human body seems to expel what they're putting in, at least part of it.
Are you saying they're going to send out a frequency or try to get more stuff into people?
No, put out a frequency. They've been constantly trying to get, I'm hoping, what my hope is that their desperate drive to get more stuff into people is the catalyst they need to use that type of technology. And I'm hoping now that they haven't got that. I think they're going to have to switch gears, and that's why we went to war.
Yeah, I see that. Mm-hmm. Good analysis.
Because that jab is very important. I can't talk too much about that. I'm in Canada. Yeah, every area has their MK Ultra mind control. That's what a government is, right, Pete Friedman? I have a full album right here on my desktop from Time TO. Time I Dropped One. Boston Ray did a set video to the flagship song Isabel Live Studio. It turned out well. Nice. Cat, I have issue with the government. It's a very bad word. It is. It should almost be a swear word, right? Governing by mental? No, don't do that. Our minds were meant to be free. That's how we innovate. That's how we grow. It takes 10 years to develop a vaccine. Well, they did it within a couple months, didn't they? A couple weeks almost. It was amazingly fast. What a accomplishment, right? Safe and effective, so I'm told. Cool.
Observing the aftermath still is quite interesting. You know, the few people that are still wearing stuff over their face, or you know, the occasional advertisements I might hear in a grocery store, you know, advertising their pharmacy and the newest whatever.
They're
it's
still
just
pushing
weird.
them.
There's the shadow of it. There's still this lingering shadow
Yeah, and the
even though a lot of
hospitals,
people have moved
yeah.
past it, it's still something that is like hijacking people's minds collectively.
The hospitals are keeping up the charade with masking, even though they should know,
Mhm.
and it's come out in the news, and everybody should know by now, if they use their heads, that something putting a paper tissue over your face isn't going to stop your breath from moving around. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm glad you said
Even if
that.
you believe in a virus, right? Which
Yeah.
I don't really believe in. I don't believe in a virus that passes from one person to another. It's just, they've never proven that, unfortunately. So, until you prove that, until you do proof of transmission, which they avoid, that particular easy test. They did it once back in the 30s, I think, but that was discarded. Most people would beg to keep what holds them back. What you mean by that? Like, people like the limitations, you think? I think some people do. You still wear a mask to be safe? Okay. Well, according to a lot of studies, what you're doing is breathing in bacteria and lowering or increasing the amount of CO2 that you're breathing in, which isn't apparently very good for you. So be careful with that, Miss Anonymous. Apparently a mask like that is only meant to be worn for about 20 seconds, according to a gentleman that I worked with who was a cleaner in the hospital, who refused the inoculation and got out just before that. The doctors told him that those masks are like one-use tissues. You put them on, you walk in a room, stay there for 5-10 minutes, you walk out, you throw it away. You're not supposed to wear those all day. So,
right,
here's a video.
It's just so much inconsistency. I've heard so many medical professionals break down the science behind masks. And
I can talk about mask lockdowns.
PPE, or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, those, they've still got it in the stores too, the plexiglass shields. Thank you for that, Morgan.
Is he here with us right now? I thought that was like pre-recorded.
Yeah, it's one of
Oh,
his
okay.
other, it's an older stream. Just made a couple day or two ago. Here's the video that Ray did. Oh, cool. Take a look there. I'll listen to that in the background for the moment. That is actually, the song is called Isabel Live Studio because it has all those elements you suggested in it. It gives it a rock and roll without distortion quality. Okay, we should be allowed to, this is your music, Morgan? So we should be allowed to play this, right?
Watching all the clocks run backwards, slowly choking out my lungs, throwing all the stones around me until all that's left is one. Euthanasia haunt me nightly until their master's work is done. Give to all just what they're asking, while sex and death is all flesh once. And while I've got angels all around me.
Oh yeah, that's you. Nice Al.
Promised life on time in mind. You ace cards taking all that's gold. Perspective curve my thought around.
I like this.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest it leaves you thirsty. A start to call robots home. Our soul are forging decisions fleeting until all have made their choice. I've got angels all around me, lighting the fires that prevent from failing. Send your orders inside me. Feel your spirit inside me again. Watching all the clocks run backwards, slowly choking out my lungs, throwing all the stones around me until all that's left is one. Youth and age haunt me nightly until their master's work is done. Give to all this what they're asking, while sex and death is all flesh wants.
Yeah, that's nicely produced.
Right on.
Yeah. Excellent job on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you produce that?
Yeah, myself and a friend that was in a band, Adam Emerson.
Yeah. Is that from your live, or did you re-record it?
Well, I did that in the studio. That was doing one take after another, and then after another, then just saying, okay, bring it back to the first, press record, and then I do it with the time, and I do it like that. And I'm doing my own harmonies there by just singing it at a different octave.
Awesome.
Over top of the other one, and that's me playing the different instruments.
Yeah, it's all Morgan. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, and me doing it all around me, like. Oh, yeah, it's me doing the backups. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that was great.
It was like 5-6 different tracks. Yeah, to the drums there. Bum bum. And I've got a few more. Well, obviously I've got a full album, and
okay,
produced like that, right?
Nice.
But they're not all as many tracks. Like like some of them only have like 4 or whatever. Like my voice and a guitar, and another guitar, or maybe in my voice. You know what I'm saying, right? Like some of them are me with an acoustic singing, and then.
So where could we get that album, or the albums?
You can get it anywhere. Just type in Morgan Tristram, and you can get that. Any, like, you know what I'm saying, like Spotify, anywhere fine music is sold. You know what I'm saying, right? And then if you can find some places where it's for free, like maybe CBC Radio 3, or where the samples are long, right?
Yeah.
Like the song, because some of the songs, like some places the samples are a minute or 2 minutes, right? Like. And sometimes it samples the whole song or a song off the album. You get what I'm saying, right? But if you type in Morgan Tristram,
there you are on Apple,
link, Spotify, Apple,
LinkedIn,
Morgan Tristram. Yeah, like you should.
Let's see. Let's go.
You should find it quite easy after typing in Morgan
for shopping.
Morgan Tristram to get the because there's the album, like and then. You should have the singles available off of it anywhere you go. Did you find it the first place you tried, or is somebody trying it?
I'm trying it. Hold on.
Oh, cool.
I'm not that good at shopping for music. I've never done it before. So, there's Instagram, Apple Music. It's not giving me a lot of options here.
Usually,
YouTube. It's got YouTube, Spotify.
Yep. Usually, if you type in my name, Morgan Tristram, on Spotify, anywhere, like you will get a lot. Like, and then, like it should come up at like many places to buy it. Like, and to.
Okay, let's see what we get here.
Yeah. I would hope.
Okay. Yep. There we are.
Oh, thank God.
Your picture of a baby and a.
Yes, that's it. That's Brody. Oh, wicked. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I know it looks really like. Part of me, you know, I almost wanted it to look more uniform, like when I wrote the Isabel Live on it. But the thing is, it's a good cut. I like it. It's my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Cool. Thanks, Max. Yeah. You know,
There's a link to
it meant a lot to
Spotify
me.
for Morgan's music. Let's see.
So what does it say?
You're on Spotify? Good.
Yeah, man.
I hate when people aren't on Spotify.
What's Spotify? Is that where you buy music or
You stream.
Yeah.
The subscription service.
Yeah.
Throwing all the stones around me until all that's left is one. Euthanasia haunt me nightly until their master's work is done. Give to all just what they're asking, while sex and death is all flesh wants.
for those of you that didn't catch it the first time? I heard his new song yesterday. He was jamming. Nice, Teresa. Hey, you tell me. Yeah, a couple people have just dropped in. We'll give them a listen.
Yeah, like I said last time, Morgan gives me Creed vibes.
Oh,
that
thank you.
band,
Yeah,
Creed.
this is very uplifting. I like it.
Oh, thank you, man. That's what you're asking for. So,
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Max.
you're welcome, man.
All hail the tail.
Yeah, man. I have hundreds of hours of material already.
Nice.
On.
I'm gonna look it up. And would you mind me playing some of your stuff?
Not at all. That's the idea, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it.
You'll be getting shared out.
Cool, man.
Morgan lost his smoke a few times jamming. Yeah, I don't know how he does that. Smoking and singing, playing guitar.
Yeah, with it in my mouth, going full out.
Yeah.
I know, man. Sometimes I don't know either.
Flame on strongs, right? Flame on strings.
Yeah, I just. Oh yeah, you see miracles all the time, man. I consider the sunset a miracle, though, too, right?
Nice. That'd be a good intro song to your show. I'd steal it on you, but.
Oh yeah, man. I know. I would love that to be able to throw that at the beginning when I come on. I guess I would just need to load it up. Well, I mean, okay. Check this out, bro. I've got it on my end here so that I can press play. Right?
StreamYard's free for the first 20 hours a month, right? So you can do it on StreamYard.
Oh, so I have 20 hours of being able to interview people or play my own stuff.
20 hours you can stream.
And that's like with me in the corner saying what's going on, right? Like hosting.
Doing exactly what I'm doing. Doing exactly what we're doing.
Right.
I pay $20 a month so I can do more. But yeah.
Yeah, like right now I've loaded up my album.
There's other ones too. There's Gab. I think it's called Gab, that are free. There's lots of them out there. Ask Paula. She knows all of them.
It makes sense.
Right?
Yeah, Canada. That's right, Kat.
So you could get a couple of them. If you run out of the 20 hours, you could just go to a different one, and it'll stream right to YouTube. You link your YouTube channel right up to it. And most of them actually do it for you now.
Yeah, like I've got my album now playing here in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can hear that.
Yep. It's loud.
Okay, yeah.
Gotta meet today one more time.
You can ask G Sharp. She would know. Okay, G Sharp's another source.
With
Flipper babies. Yes.
Yes. Did you hear that song, Max?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I heard Flipper babies in Ohio.
Showers one, oh, that's a fix. Gotta meet the day one more time this way.
I didn't know that you actually did go to the studio and produce your
Oh,
music.
this was
that's
recorded
awesome.
in a studio, professional, huge board.
Yeah.
Up the door to sex. Paper on.
At first, I thought you were saying somebody like took your words and your music and took it, but then I heard your voice. It's like, no, that's Morgan.
This was in the booth.
Yeah.
This
when
was
you
in
do
the
it
booth.
when you do it live, the volume goes up and down, and the words are sometimes harder to catch.
And the album wasn't recorded all in the same studio. Like, you know what I mean?
Hi,
Like,
Dolly Man. Hey, Mary Jean.
Here comes in the piano.
Yeah.
Or gotta meet the day one more time.
Doing good, Mary Jean. You're in Fenton, Louisiana. St. Louis. Okay. OBS, if you can learn, if you know how to operate an OBS, you can stream unlimited pretty easily if you can set it up. There's OBS systems.
OBS. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, flooding in California today too.
Oh wow.
Oh, is my group mainly in Canada? Really? Well, yeah, it is. No, Morgan's in the States. Where are you at, Christos?
I do collabs with people, so everything I do, you know what I'm saying, it's Isabella Live, you know what I'm saying, and then friends.
Missouri.
Okay. Oh, you guys are close. You in
The guy who wrote Kiss an Angel, Good Morning, studio, his studio.
You got OBS, but figuring it out. Yeah, I looked at it. I couldn't figure it out, so kind of gave up. It's flooding heavily where Scotty Boy lives. Wow. Uptown Girls.
Not even charging me for gas.
Yeah, it's snowing like crazy out here. We've had snow the last 2 days. And usually it's Buffalo that gets hammered with it. So the air's coming back on us instead of going in the regular direction. I blame Hurricane Ian for that because we've been having wild swings up and down for the past 2 months. You know, ever since Ian went by, they really messed with that. You look at who is it? Real GP Earthwatch, Real BP Earthwatch.
Yes, yeah.
He did a video tracking Ian, how they amplified a small storm from way down south and brought it right up the coast with chemtrails and HAARP. And they just hammered the East Coast with it.
Winter inside. Yeah. Right on. That's
live in New England.
You know, I've got plenty of that where that came for the whole album. You know, I mean, I don't want to just go one after another. We could talk about whatever you want. If you want me to drop one, I've got them there whenever you want.
What do you mean drop?
Yeah, there's I've got more tunes than that, but I mean on this album there's about 17 more tunes, right?
Sure, put another one on.
Yeah. Okay. This is the second most famous one. Okay, this one right here, right? Like this one, Cornfields of Kent. I let me grab it. Let me play this. Hopefully I got it, man. I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of this. All right.
Yeah, I like your music. I didn't know you produced it.
Oh wait, I think you're gonna like this. This is Timed Up Spirit. This is like the other one in the studio. Yeah, that'd be wild, man. No one's ever done that.
I don't know how.
I don't know if they have or not. My company's called me, who I'm signed with, right? I'm with oh my god, I forgot my fucking label. No, it's Independent something or other. I'll think of them in a second, right?
Yeah.
I didn't call them back. But
Helps me discern.
Yeah.
I'd like to discern. We did do a diss on CERN. We've done that.
Feel that I don't know me.
All right, you tell me you get some good smoke. Bring some for everybody.
Mediation.
Oh yeah, I was given an interesting theory. Let me pull up my email here.
No.
I'll just read this after the song. So we have an interesting Earth.
Is that all right? Okay.
Yeah. Up after the song, I have an interesting Earth evolution theory that came to me through a viewer. You lost your flag football team game. The other team had a fifth grader built like you, James LeBron. He was an 80. He was a 20-year-old that identifies as a 5-year-old. That's what it is.
Don't you fucking touch him.
I identify as a small child. You know.
Yeah. I identify as Pinball Clemens. Right on. Yeah, that's just that.
That's a good one too.
Is it?
I like it.
I appealed to Kent, but instead I played you that one.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that for right now,
So,
and if you want, or let's whatever you want.
Where did that go? Oh, yeah. That's.
I'm very stoked. I feel as if that's a little bit of a, you know what I mean, a little bit of a break. You know, when they say you feel like you break a little bit, right? I feel this is what they call a little.
Well,
bit
I'll be playing more of your
Feels
music.
really nice.
Don't worry about that. I'll be playing more of your music.
Wow. You see, because I was able to communicate, you know what I mean, like my skills, and I was right, because somebody you could imagine would have been like, "Hey, I want everybody to know this. We stand in my ego. You don't know. I built.
You're
you
glitchy.
know what I mean, right? And
You're glitchy when you talk loud. You get glitchy.
Instead, I'm appreciative. Oh, right. I was gonna say, if you feel unsung, sometimes you can turn bitter inside instead of writing a new song. To say thank you to the one anyway, you know what I mean, who gave it to you in the first. Meaning, if you look at it as yours or a gift, you keep getting it, right? Like, because I didn't steal it from anybody, so I still get it, you know. And then like, able to honor. You found out that I played. You played it, and you were happy with it, and you're pleased. And I got the honor. Because I didn't, but if I had demanded it, it wouldn't have. There would be none for me. It would have been okay. Well, there you go. You did that. Good for you. Let me get it on your nose, sir. There you are. You know. But because you found out organically, like if someone went, "Hey, did you guys know more?" Well, didn't he tell you? No, he didn't mention it. What do you mean he didn't mention it? Well, I mean that's a big deal, and it's like, well, I guess. You know, like, you know, it's on the radio and everything, and I've done concerts and stuff, right? Like in charity, I'm still involved with. Good donates $4 for every one that I raise. You know, so like pay for that and all that. You can read about it. Like, probably should be able to read about it in the paper by typing it in. Yeah. So like, and that's the other thing, right? And playing. And like in the Cove thing has ended, I've been like amping up to play again, and that's another thing why I could understand how Satan would be like you know, this guy's voice is getting out there again. Like, because there's religious freedom, and like people like, as long as you don't go floating around that wacko stuff, people have to respect that now. Or like, are you gonna like pitchfork someone if like you know, like put up a crucifix on your church, and it's like, well, I don't really know if I'm gonna call it a church, and the people go, we like what we hear so far.
They're
like,
still
okay, like,
arresting
I've got this
pastors
idea.
up here. So they arrested a pastor up here for
Yeah.
protesting at City Hall. So we're still
I know you
under.
specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
We're
Yeah,
still
for sure,
under
for
that
sure.
system.
You know, like,
Canada's getting much
they're
worse.
not
Actually,
like,
they passed their.
yeah, like
they
that's
changed
what
the
I
bill
mean. Like,
number.
I don't want to affiliate myself with the diehard people that are like, at some point I'm like, you know, because at some point I don't like. I believe that I have a God actually on my side. So at some point, like, I don't get more threatening. Just don't tell the people as much. And people are like, what do you mean? Say, oh, I feel like Elisha on the mountaintop coming down, not to you guys, but I mean coming down to the world and going, because I'm a cool guy, I'm here to people. Things going to happen because I feel a responsibility to your children and you people, because I'd want to be told what's going on and what's happening and what I can do to avoid Jonah. And it worked. He went to the king of Nineveh and the people and said, well, it takes 3 days to get from one end to the other. Hey,
Still a
you
little
guys are
glitchy.
doing some really twisted, backward stuff. And you know what? Sorry. When Jonah went to Nineveh, he was told to go and tell the people and the king, your ways are causing God to be very angry, and he's king one clothes and went to the street and ashes on his head and said, look, I'm nothing. God is everything. Everybody do like all destroyed.
I'm only catching part of that. Can you do something?
Maybe,
with your
maybe turn
audio?
the camera off.
Yeah, now you froze.
Okay, so like, the people in Nineveh were being wicked, and the king was too. And Jonah went there and told them, you know, like, hey, God's getting really angry and stuff. Just if you'd repent, he'll turn away his wrath. But his plan is to destroy you in 3 days. Well, he ripped his clothes, you know, and then like threw him out, put sackcloth on, went into the dirt, and started throwing dirt on his head to symbolize, look, everyone, look at me. This is what happens to the man who doesn't obey God, and told everybody else to do likewise. And they didn't eat and anything, hoping that God would turn away, because they're like, look at us focused on what we're doing. And also the prayer and the fasting does help get rid and exercise a lot of what we call spirits inside. Just like if a kid has a wicked spirit or, you know, of anything, and the parents are like, hey, get that out of you, in a spanking or whatever. In the same way, in the same way, like, that's how God, like, you know, that's how this thing or whatever, I forget the major thing, but yeah, in the same way, I forget what the major thing attaching it to was about the story of, to us, the people, right? Yeah, in the same way, like, we're not to be of the world, like are not in the world or of the world, like, meaning we know the truth, so we're supposed to live in that truth, and it sets us free. So when we come into the world, it's like we tell them out of responsibility, but we're not them. Like, and I know we are inside, but we're not doing the same things they're doing. We're making different choices, and it's having a different impact on our souls.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. So when I'm able to, without it costing me my soul, I try to shine the light and sound the horn, especially sound the horn for me. and sing my song on the mountaintop. And I know that that's where I'm so effective, that when I started singing my song about truth, I thought that the parasites would come in to try and feed off me, and then to try and stop me when that didn't work, and try to do everything. And the thing is, I hope that doesn't sound weird. I was promised by my angels or by my whatever, if you do this for love, even if you passed away, you wouldn't know anyway. You will just continue on in the dream. And since that's eternal, you don't really need to worry about what happens.
Yeah.
The bullets will go in and will go out, and you will carry on serving the Lord, which is why that song, somewhere a working for us, somewhere a working,
Yeah.
I'll be somewhere working for my Lord. Why that is
Well,
supposed to bring you comfort.
the whole thing is being balanced, right? You've
Yeah.
got to be balanced in your brain, be able to realize what's going on around you, but not let it consume you. That's what being in this world, not of it, is. You know, and because you realize the wrong that's going on in the world, you have the duty to act against it in whatever way you can, without just devastating yourself and being useless, which is what some people do. They throw themselves at the
to
fight.
living in anticipation, right?
Yeah, you have to be able to live to fight another day.
Parties, for tea parties with other rich people, right? To congratulate ourselves on owning all the people like cattle. That's evil, and we know it. You're supposed, and then you combine it with that Scrooge and the lesson that we learned from that movie about mankind was supposed to be our business. When we could make the lives of the poor better by
improving each other's
small
lives
acts.
should be our goal. If you made the societal goal of improving your neighbor's life, imagine how great your life could be if that started from the top down and the bottom up, at the same time. That would be that would be the Christ returning to earth, really, is what it would be.
Thank you. That's exactly right. That is, because isn't it the Christ consciousness returning to earth? And everybody's, it's a guy.
Well,
It's a guy.
even say the guy
It's
comes
man.
back, it's still, even if the man comes back, it will still be the change in the minds of the people that makes it happen.
Yes.
No matter what, whether there's a figurehead, somebody descending from the sky, it doesn't matter, because it's still going to have to be the change in us, in people's perception and way of operating. So, all we can do is be the example, hopefully, and others will catch on. I hope we have a 100th monkey effect. Some people think it's going to happen because of an alignment or energies coming in. That may help, right? But it's still got to, at the ultimate end of it, got to be us, the people.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. We have, when you say a demon's names and its arms are unlocked from the yoke, like it has to do, it still has to do the work. Like, you still have to do the work.
Right? I got to go stop World War III. Yeah. Yep. That's what we'll do. I'll throw there, and nobody's done it, thank God. But, there are people who say they'd like, I even know little old ladies who say they'd like to punch Trudeau in the nose and do even worse to him. But, thankfully nobody's done that, because that's not the answer.
Because it's not Trudeau. It's ideas.
And that's
the
going and
people that
trying to start World War III, and you're just going to be ineffective after that, because they're just going to throw you in jail.
Yes.
But
And
making yourself
more.
heard. Yeah.
And
Making yourself
destabilize.
heard. Non-compliance.
Exactly.
Non-compliance, and stabilizing yourself in your brain and your thoughts.
That's what's been going
gonna
right
do it.
so far. The
Yeah.
fact that we haven't done that.
Yeah. Because our side has put that out from the beginning. Everybody has said that. Non-violence. Do not engage.
Our offense.
Yeah,
is our
that's all their probing and pushing and prodding and lockdowns and everything is to try to get us to engage.
A reaction.
And if you don't give them, I learned this over my lifetime, don't give them the reaction, they fall flat on their faces. It's hilarious to watch, and it's happening.
And they commit
Slowly.
to trying to get one.
Yep. Yeah, they came into Tristan's apartment trying to get him to react, and he didn't. And that's being balanced in your brain, stable, walking that thin line, you know. Once you're on that thin line, you can't be wavered either way,
Like,
you know.
like even when I didn't have my meds with me, where did I get the
Yeah.
fortitude? Because I practiced for that time. I said to myself, this is what you train for, you know?
Yep.
Use it all. You know, use
Yep.
it. Use everything that you've got. Are you in a bit of pain? Use it for the act. You get what I'm saying, right? Use it to control yourself. You got it, right? Use it to be
Yeah.
mindful then.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Yep.
time you
And
feel
there are
pain,
aids we can
remind you
do
of what's
too.
going on. Yep.
I suggest everyone here try taking some colloidal gold. If they're, a bottle of it's not that expensive, about $20. It'll do you about a month. It'll have a permanent effect on you. It will diminish over time,
Right.
but it does. It gives you a more balanced brain hemisphere. It allows the mind to transfer thoughts from one side to the other easier.
Yes.
And that allows you to walk that thin line a little easier. Once you've trained yourself through using that as an aid to walk the thin line,
Yeah.
it becomes easier. Every little bit you practice, even in your daily life, without aids, is going to happen.
Self-hypnosis really helps too, by the way. Being able to quiet your mind and place an instruction in it, and then leave only that instruction in it, like for what you're doing, so that you can't do anything else. It really helps. Like
That's terrible.
Whoa.
Do no harm unless you have for self-defense. That's right.
Yes, exactly. Because you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like you've really lost when it's come down to that. I mean, you know, in a way, yeah. Like
even on the spiritual level, you've hurt yourself because we are one, right?
Yeah.
You know, Ethereum gold helps. Yes. There's also monatomic gold. I think you're thinking it's the same thing. That's gold taken down to its monatomic level, white powder gold. Very good for you. I made some myself, so I had quite the month, I tell you. I would suggest trying that. If you're on the path of enlightenment and you take these products, you probably will find a benefit. And yeah, and that goes back to the lily wave we were talking about earlier. If you're not feeding them your negative emotions, they can't feed them back to you.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, Hotel California. They are programmed to receive. And another quote, or not a quote, but they only know really what you tell them.
Is very good for you too.
Like what you share with them is what they're going to use against you or around you to build whatever it is. So just understand that. And because the thing is, sometimes like once you notice their pattern, and that's the thing. Like when I was, there were so much. I do not want to say this because I'm not egging it on, but like when I was younger, I've seen demons and programs that are very highly evolved that were like from the old school, like that seemed hundreds of years old as far as an entity goes. And they were like the kid in the Omen. They wouldn't make a mistake ever. These ones right now seem to be lazy demons. And it's like the patterns are spottable. And I think it's because they've been working without worrying for a long time now. Like without looking over their shoulders, for real, like the spirits. In their positions, in professional positions, doctors and whatnot and so forth, that are leaning to a certain way in order to politically go just people on committees.
Well, on a spiritual level too, if people are being negatively affected by these technologies, there are spirits that will feed off that negativity.
That's it.
You know.
Well, in a desire to manifest and materialize as much as they can, because that's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fear is their real weapon, you know. Like
yes.
Yeah. And I like to tell people this: when you're in the ether and you see entities that are trying to instill fear, send them love, give them a hug. They'll run packing. Unless they decide they want to take on the light, they'll run packing. You know?
No, because they're mocking. Indeed. Yes, truly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I consider them the rude question. It's like, oh, they're questions. I go, the questions are actually rude, like not to learn, but the type of questions they're asking. The entities, the ones that will come at you, if they ask, if they even pose to you, their whole thing is a cue, a gesture, but like a doubting, what do you call it? An accuser all the time. Every time they ask a question, it's like this question, it's like this isn't being said for my benefit. It's being said for like a test, it's like, and I don't like those entities. It's like, I don't need to be on trial for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Now actually the internet's getting more control in Canada. They passed their bill for internet control.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they'll do with it. They have pretty much unlimited power. It's ridiculous what they can do.
I'm so glad that I've at least taken the time to get a certain acclimated to the system so that I know I have a certain, at least right now, dialogue that I can use without going insane. Yeah, exactly, Max. I've taken the time, so at least I would feel quite uncomfortable coming into it right now. Trying at this stage of it. I'm so glad I've had the last 2 years heavily studying to learn the language and everything. Because I thought I was getting in on it late, except then I found out because there has been such an awakening.
100 years, been going for 100 years, so we're all kind of coming in late,
Yeah, no,
we are late to the party, unfortunately.
Like, I mean, I was always awake, but so were a lot of the other people, but we didn't have as much of the information. And
we didn't have near the information. No. The information.
Like, exactly. It's like, then the watershed. Exactly. The same watershed as everybody else is dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that we're here, I'm not late. I'm like, it's like, nope, you're pretty much, like you're not too late, but you're not
and
early.
We're still a small minority that are caught up to what's going on this late in the game. You ask the average person even what the WEF and who Klaus Schwab is. They don't know.
Yes, exactly. And all of our actions have butterfly effect right now. And can be
there was a young gentleman on a show last night saying that we why are we talking about this stuff over and over again? Why do you keep bringing that up? And it's like, well, because we have to. Yes. That's how it's done.
Yes. Why am I singing? Exactly. Because hopefully I'll get an audience. I know I'm slowly, it's happening. Slowly, because no matter what anybody thinks.
But the propaganda is so strong.
Yes, Mac. Thank you. That was what I was going to say. The propaganda. Go ahead.
The propaganda is so strong. I've seen my family members fall to it. And I've seen people turned around like that. But it takes that one thing that you say to have them finally click in their mind that there is something up, and then they'll start to snowball. Now, some of them are going to go through cognitive dissonance and revert back, but some of them will move forward, and eventually they'll drag others with them. And that's what it is. It's a small effect, the butterfly effect. Exactly. We make a small noise day after day after day after day.
Because they'll turn on the radio, and Howard Stern, or not Howard Stern, he's a real liberal freak, but they'll turn it on and some mid-range guy on the radio personality who decided it's time for me to tap the jokes that they haven't for the last 3 years and start shooting them out. And your mom happens to be just listening because it's normally a regular going with everything CNN, Fox News type channel, except this morning they ended up saying something that you had said not more than a year ago.
Yeah.
And it hits her. Yeah. And she doesn't think to herself, well, you were saying that. She just thinks to herself, I've heard something about that before. Maybe it was my son and he had it half wrong. But now that I've got the full story, I can tell him what he didn't have. And that's how they are.
That's fine.
If you're exactly, we love her and we're willing to accept that, Mom, because what we've been praying for is just the fact that we can have some communication on a level.
Right.
That you're not shunning me like some kind of Mormon odd thing. Like yeah, the shunning, that's what it's called. Exactly. So on the level that we can communicate, we have the victory. Like because that's the thing. They're trying to divide, and that's what you have. Mothers not calling their son because they convinced them that we're some kind of a monster because of some political view that we never even really gave two flying figs about yesterday, because I've never been a racist. So I never really thought about, my position on something that I don't honestly hold an opinion on. I don't, because I don't think anybody needs a leg up. Because I think in order to say that, you have to say these people are down. And that stigmatizes them. Like, as exactly what you're trying to say that they're, not. And it's like, well, then stop making a deal about it, Like black and white, that's Masonic, man. That's totally Hegelian and totally see-through. Like,
But the important part is that we keep putting out the message. Like every time we put out the message, it puts out energy. Even if nobody sees this video, the energy is out there. The energy of protest, and it's important to keep that going. If we put it under, why are we still talking about this? Because the effects of it are going to be everlasting. That's why,
Yes.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away, and it never will.
The thief in the store just taking the things off the shelf, terrifying the people in the store.
Yeah, just because the thief left doesn't mean that your stuff wasn't stolen and that he won't come back and steal more shit,
That's right. And and the thing is, they were saying waiting for Jesus to come back. Well, to me, I was watching the TikTok. Now, this is something, and I think some of the people are going to be able to relate to this, Max. I saw something that reminded me of something that I see. It's like every 20 years. Some people say it happens every 7 years. I've seen it happen twice in my lifetime for sure. Like, being 45. Now, I saw a girl do what I remember back in 1982 when I was like, a little bit younger. I think I was like 3 or 4, but I come from farm country. And I would see grown women punch out men. Because they'd be working in the same field or whatever. And it would be for just, they were working, you know what I mean? And something at work, right? And a girl would knock a guy out. And I knew women like that. And the thing is that, and they were pretty too, but it didn't matter because you had to respect them for who they were and what they could do physically. And I grew up around that as well.
Did these men deserve these punch outs?
Oh, hell yes. Every time. I think they loved it. I think in the back of their friggin' mind, they were like when you see the birds going around their head, it was the only way that they could figure out how to talk to her. You know what I mean? And they were just like, oh God, thank God that happened. I didn't know how I was going to introduce myself. That went well. You know what I mean? I think that's what they thought in their friggin' head. Well, I met her now. Like they'd be very attractive women, but they wouldn't take any shit. And the thing is, if you remember in the town that I was in, and think that things were very, very rough. So in my brain, I was like, that's how you have to do that. Like for real. Yeah. I remember as a child going, the level at which those girls had that snap cross right unit punch, I knew they trained from the time that they were 3, 4, helping their mom do anything. But then they also learned to fight either their brothers or someone learned them good, because I knew that people were being sexually assaulted everywhere. I'm just telling you the truth. At the church here and there. So when I grew up and I saw people fighting like that, I was like, they know what they need to do. Now the thing is, once I was 12, I learned, you know what I mean? Like I started throwing then too. And the thing is, I thought I was super late to the party. I had held back so long that I had gained like a little bit of that Bobby Boucher, I'm going to play the foosball. Mama told me not to fight. Mama told me not to fight. Mama told me not to fight. And then all of a sudden it's like, now that you're 12, and I think the Lord was like, look, people are getting bigger now. And it's not that allowed to fight. It's that you got to defend yourself now. So when someone calls you on now, if they're with the group and you've got a friend with you, you're allowed to fight them if they want. You're allowed to go, if you'd like, we can do this because I don't like this yelling across the street.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we're not going to kill each other. Let's go ahead and have a fair fight. And then Buddy didn't want to, and then Buddy was like, hey man, you better fight him because you got a big mouth. And then he made the, and the guy, and we fought. But I mean, that's okay. I'm trying to say that it's still the street. It's still the schoolyard now with the politicians, this, that, the other thing.
Okay.
They're all hiding from it. They're all hiding from it. Those of us who are like, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Justin Trudeau only does private engagements now. He doesn't do public engagements.
Thank you.
And they are supposed to be available to the public. And this is happening with a lot of our politicians. They are all opting out of public engagements. Justin came to my city, Hamilton, a few weeks ago, and he just got heckled from the beginning to the end.
I watched that.
Him. So, my city actually refused masking again. They tried to enforce that in the schools, and the students and parents said no. They said no to CRT, critical race theory. And right now, I believe they're on the fight with the other thing, the indoctrination of the children into the sexuality.
Good wording. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. There is light. There is light.
Yeah. There are wins happening, guys. We are.
That's right.
It's non-compliance working.
Yes. Thank you. Exactly. See that it's like anytime people choose nonviolence, it's like thank you for choosing nonviolence. Thank you for choosing nonviolence, because it really is our offensive move. When we are the ones with so much power, we have to be careful.
Yeah.
I know that sounded odd, but that's
when
the
I was
reason.
young. I took Wudarayu karate, which is defensive karate.
Yeah.
So in order for me to really do anything effective on somebody, I need them to try to do something to me.
Yes, exactly. To use our energy to redirect it. That's right.
Yeah. And it's the same with government. We have to wait for them to do something to us and redirect their energy. And
yes.
This is what's happening here, is we're redirecting the energy that they've already put out back at them.
Yes.
It's an energetic fight as well.
Exactly. And there are different. I don't want to get too specific on it, but I mean, the thing with the fertilizer and telling the farmers you can't use, that's just straight up war, without bullets, and that's how I see that.
Yeah, attacking the infrastructure.
Yeah,
I think Ohio can survive. They need to.
Oh yeah, we can here, here too.
Yeah, they could clean up the land if they put enough money into it. It could be done with fungus. A fungus could clean up the land, but they don't like using that technology. But it could work.
Yeah, it's
fungus eat just about everything. You just cover the land and let the fungus take over.
Yeah, like it's so rich where we live, like around. And I'm sure are you in Ontario, Max? Or
yeah,
like it's so rich where we are.
Yeah,
that I cannot. Like unless they deliberately put up fences and soldiers running around guarding the different fields, and someone be like, oh, they might. The thing is that the fields are all here where Max and I are.
That's where they're going to attack.
And at the same time, it's where they're going to be defending too. You know what I mean? Like it would make sense that it wouldn't be a thing where it's like, hey, attack here and just let them, because it's where they want. I would think it would make sense that would be the type of thing where they would be like, this is what we're not going to let happen, because it's not just our food. The contracts belong to many other countries for what we have here. It's China's, you know what I mean? It's Russia. We got a lot of different contracts with our farmers.
Yeah, in Canada, we haven't had near as many unsolved fires as you guys have had in the States.
Thank you.
You
That's
know,
another great point.
I tried to express that to somebody last night, and they argued with me. And
Oh,
you
my.
look at Z Maps. It's called
They
Z
wanna be
Maps.
afraid? Yeah,
And
yeah, Max. That's right.
it's right
We
there.
have
You
it.
get
That's
one
all
or
about
two in
it.
Europe, 500 in the U.S.
And that's
about
good.
30.
Like, once
About
again,
30.
it's a good thing.
About 30 in Canada. It's not
Like
a
there,
lot in Canada.
there are so many things that need our attention and that need our focus. It is, I think, critical to have these things like that we just narrowed out, and sifted out and pulled out is a weed that chokes so many good intentions and can be used to choke out so many people looking for something good to do. And then they find out about that and their heart goes out of it because they're like, oh, that doesn't even exist. And it's like, no, that's not even a problem. And it's, oh, and then because then people don't know what to believe anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it also gives them an excuse not to. Because when they look into it, they find out it's like they think, oh, that's not true, or it's a conspiracy theory, or whatever you want to call it. And this doobie's really good.
Frequency radio. Okay.
I really like smoking weed. Like, I got some really good weed. Like I just like, I'm like just no, but
I think you told me you said you're stoned earlier.
Yeah, like when you got the good weed, man. Like you cannot hang on, I feel, to the negative. And that's that
Yeah, that's another aid that can help people raise their vibration.
Excellent. See, like it's like whenever like troubles begin to like mount or whatever, it's like I take a toke and all my cares go up in smoke. I thought that
well,
was
we are at war, and that is one of your defensive strategies that we can use. We are at war. Like, we have to admit that. Here's Nocturnal Frequency Radio's link.
Nocturnal. Have you heard of Nocturnal Frequency Radio? Steve and Alex. They are great. Cool.
There's their link.
I remember the soldiers in Nam toking up the good herb through the gun, like the shotgun, right? The military gun. And they'd load it up, man. I'd record it on 2020 and everything. And I'd make these videotapes of all this stuff. And they'd be toking it up and they'd be blowing it in the other guys. And I'd be thinking to myself, that's so what it's for. It so makes sense in the mind that.
Imagine the sharing of the energies that would happen through that. We used to do what were called super tokes, and you put the joint in your mouth in reverse, and you blow the smoke.
That's what they were doing, man.
For them.
That's what they were doing. You caught it exactly. Putting that,
look,
and then you
when you did it, it looked like you were kissing with another guy.
Yeah, I'm going to show you, man. Like, I know you already know, but I'm just going to come on and I'm going to do it because you know how it goes. Like, you know what they're doing.
I got to go in a few minutes. We call that a blowback. Okay. Cocking guns. Mirror me the
you blow it the other way.
Father said, fall into my feathers.
Yeah.
I'll have another smoke with you guys, and then I'm gonna cut it off. Just gotta roll one here. But yeah, what we're doing is worthwhile talking about it, even if we're in an echo chamber, which I know many of us are. I'm kind of in an echo chamber. I'm very censored, but the resonance of our thoughts. You know, we know that the 100th monkey effect is real. We know that the butterfly effect is real, and so keep making some noise if you can. You know, I always suggest to people, drop a little bomb. Don't if you're trying to wake people up, use just like one simple little fact. Did you know that insurance companies are paying out 15% more this year, and that's like way more than they ever? You know, some actual statistic. Don't go at them. Just drop bombs, little truth bombs every once in a while. Don't even discuss it and walk away. Some people will come back to you and ask for more. If those do, you can tell them more, right? All right, Sab, we'll see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, right, Teresa. I get, shop at small stores. Shop at a local grocer instead of a big one if you can find one. I don't know how many are left. I've got a couple here, but buy local. Yeah. Stay out of the corporate stores. They're closing down the Walmarts anyway, so they're trying to collapse that. Yeah, they're collapsing that part of the scenario at the moment. And then there's the run on the banks that happened on Friday. That things always happen on Friday, so expect there could be a crash on Monday. And by the way, silver is down now. That might be a good investment. Gold is kind of expensive at the moment. But yeah, restore that feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction for being independent and capable of growing and making things on our own. Yeah, right. We do need more local manufacturing, and I think that's something that's going to happen. Right? People are turning away from this globalism idea, and along with that is going to be the manufacturing, production, sales, all of it. We do need more local.
That means you can invest in copper. It'll stay stable and increase steadily. So will gold, as will silver.
Most of the
especially
world,
as we move forward in an industrial village type setting.
Yeah, more than half the world is on gold and silver right now. China, Russia, India, a few South American countries. It's they're already using metals as currencies now to back their currencies. So we might be going back to the gold standard that they took away, gold and silver standard they took away in the 70s, right?
And even like from what I got from the coppers, like who ended up, I dealt with them way too much this week. But this right here, okay, even though you might think, oh, but there's so much of it, okay, it's still old.
Yeah, like, food is worthwhile buying as a commodity.
Yeah,
it's tradable.
Exactly. Seeds as well.
Tobacco, like alcohol. It's good. Alcohol would be good for those of us that don't drink, right?
Absolutely.
Good for trading.
Like, oh, for sure. You'd be the one that would be the one that would be responsible. Like if you don't drink, yes, you should be the one that has the alcohol. Absolutely. That just makes sense. Perfect. But yeah, having the best quality, having the good quality to grow and everything. And then because the thing is too, the seeds, okay, that come from this, and even the material. I'm looking at pillow material here that I have out of the white pollen sacks that are just everywhere, and I could make pillowcases out of them.
Yeah,
like the plant is so versatile.
And get some. I have even if you live in the city, get a supply of foodstuff seeds. I have spinach, broccoli. I even have melons and stuff like that I can grow. Get yourself a supply of that because you can grow stuff in the window.
A couple kilogram, if not a 10 kilogram bag of rice might cost you $6 now. 10, okay, maybe $10.
Yeah,
for 10 kilograms, okay, of rice. That kilogram of rice could keep you alive for a winter, or like possibly
months. Yeah.
Yes, it could keep you alive because it's got the milk. The rice has the milk in it and the protein.
Yeah.
You'd be deficient in some things, but you could scrounge. Like I just
get some beans. Get some beans.
Yes, and the cans of beans you can. By the way, the Mennonites and them, they buy them in the big cans. Go ahead, buy them in the big can, but I mean the big one.
Yeah,
like the one that's for $19.99.
I buy
Go
dried.
ahead and grab it.
I got a bunch of dried.
Or dry. pardon me. Buy the dried. I just meant like if you
Yeah.
want for the treat. Like, no, but yeah, but that's the thing. The treat. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh God, I don't want to wait around.
Yeah, I have lots of canned meats.
But the dried, that you can go the day before.
Yeah.
Like, and then they're there, and they're delicious. Like, you can pack them into a paste, and then if you're smart enough to have,
The
like,
flour's
to
pretty
keep 'em
cheap
in-
now too, so you can get like up
flour.
here you can
Thank
get
you. The
40-pound bag of flour for about $20-$30. That's going to be pretty
Okay.
expensive too. I make bread almost every other day, so that's
Right,
part of my
right.
staple food. So get things that you use, or if you're going to buy dried foods, start using them in your regular life. That way, when shit hits the fan and either there's no food or it's too expensive, it doesn't change your life at all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But, I
Might-
know, like people talk about tuna. I don't care. I will have myself a case of, like, nothing's wrong with having a couple cases of tuna. What do you got in there? A couple cases of tuna? I'm going to eat. Like, what do you mean? I got a couple cases of tuna. It's
Yeah.
like, it's great. Like, and it's like, I don't know right now, but I would get one easily. Like,
Peanut butter and jam will last a long time in the fridge, and you can get very large containers at
Yes,
bulk
yep.
stores.
Yep.
They'll
You can
last
even
a
get the
long,
ones-
long time. I used to joke I'm
The
going to
long
ride
one.
out the apocalypse on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and you can do it. I've got 2 tubs of peanut butter and 4 tubs of jam. That's
I'm
probably
gonna-
80,
I'm gonna get
80
on-
pounds of peanut butter and jam. And
Well,
it'll last for quite a while. It'll start to taste funny in a year or a couple of years, a little bit, but the jam will cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
And you get stuff you use, right? We use peanut butter and jam, so
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's going to have a turnover.
when I start thinking about if it gets bad, understanding in mind what I can go out and do still with, $50 or whatever, like when I'm of staple, like of, hey, I know I can get my potatoes, like, so I am eating them. And even if they were like, oh my goodness, the bag is now $20, it used to be $5, I know I'm eating.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? If I go in the bag, it used to be like, what would it be?
Well,
That'd be.
I'm hoping at
5
that
pounds,
point
right?
the
If they were-
masses. I'm hoping at that point the masses turn. Let's let's
Yeah,
hope
like-
we get enough people on board at that point.
Right.
They seem to be trying to stave that off though, for the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like,
Because the prices have kind of slowed down in the increase a bit. I know people are saying that they're constantly going up, but they are, but they've slowed it down a bit.
Like, exactly. See, Mac, that's what other people would have said well before the $20 5-kilogram,
I hope so.
bag of. They would have said, like, okay, Morgan, in the States, what we're doing is our militias are, are activating, and rather than having a place where we're fighting, we're just letting them know where we are. I don't think it'd be done like that. I think individual
Well, what we have to-
places would just say go.
What can
So it
happen
wouldn't
in
be
that
violent
situation?
cells. It would be infrastructure cells.
They may
You know what I'm
decide.
saying, right?
Or,
I don't.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
What
my bad.
What were you saying?
I was just saying no violence.
Yeah, no violence. Okay. Yeah, what they're probably going to do is what they could do is do a government controlled of the food if they can declare an emergency
Yeah.
situation, right? And what we
Yeah.
have to do is try and
Yeah.
avoid that somehow. I don't know
Yeah.
how.
No, and
But,
then we need to be the HAs and be 81 and be good 1%er because we need to be the black market.
Yeah, they'll try to take control of the food systems. They're already doing that. Obviously, they're destroying them.
Yeah.
And what's left
Yeah.
of, they may try to take control of. So that's why it's important to be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
at this
rather than letting their
moment almost.
gatekeepers get in those positions. You get
Yeah.
what you get what I'm saying, right? Because they
Yeah.
will try immediately to release. I'm Joe. I've just had a hard life, and I'll try and do the mediation between the blah blah.
Hey,
no,
Travis.
That made sense too, didn't it, Max? Right? It's like when people, you got what I meant when I said that. Yeah. See, because that's what some people don't think of, right? They're going to try and have their person, and people are going to be like, "You mean they're going to pay somebody?" Yeah, they're going to tell somebody, "We're going to make sure that you get what you need and your family, as long
Yeah,
as
they're
you
going to
tell
try.
us."
They might
Yeah.
even do a food confiscation system.
Yes.
So they might do even the house to house.
Yeah.
Who knows how far they'll go? But that's something to prepare
Yeah.
for. I don't know how you can. You have to put some thought into that.
By telling stories like I did, which is why they try and like then someone uses that trying to give an excuse to SWAT because it's like I would tell like that's not the reason I did that.
Doing
The thing
good,
is, you can
Travis.
tell a story so effective. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that really is what an effective story is, saying, "Hey, here's a story in a movie where I'm going to show you what it's like in Fahrenheit 9/11 or Fahrenheit. What's that one where they burn the books with
Yeah,
Ray
did you hear
Bradbury?
Woody Harrelson? I think it was Woody Harrelson did his little thing
Yes.
about. They
Yes.
sent me this movie script about this cartel that's going to, what they're going to do is they're going to lock everybody in their houses. They're going to tell them that they need to take the cartel's drugs, and if they don't, they can't come out of their houses until they take the cartel's drugs. I threw that script away. I thought that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Because is the goddess. Please, my Christian friends understand. I'm really pissed off at the Christians right now, and not Christ, but people that claim
The leadership,
I mean,
they've
you know what
caved
I
for
mean.
money. Unfortunately, a lot of them have caved for
Yeah,
money.
like so if
Tax breaks
I
and money.
say that when I refer to nature, I view it that way, or if I refer to Mother Earth, I understand I'm talking about the Lord, but I mean I'm going to refer to it as that. So when they are though, when we got this, and the plant, I think the plant told Woody, "You better speak the truth with what I've given you. Take it
Maybe.
away." Like you know what I mean? Because for a head, right? You need that. You need to be doing right. If you betray that, you betray
Yeah.
your own eternal soul. And someone that smokes.
So you think there's a soul left in
and you
there?
don't want to be.
I'm happy about that. That there's a soul left in some of these people. I think a lot of them
I
gave
know,
a lot
because
of them
they're
sold it
actors.
off. Yeah. Well,
Like,
we got to
they're
wrap it up
actors,
here.
So I don't know.
But that's a good point to end it on, though. Yeah, they are actors. Even the presidents are actors now. Everybody's actors.
Oh,
some of them seem to have a soul, though. So, okay. Well,
Back to the Future. Doc Brown. Like, who's president in 1984? Was it like Ronald Reagan?
Right.
The actor? The actor? He thought it was insane.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you coming on, Morgan.
It would have been James Dean right now.
All right. Till next time, much love to you all. Keep that third eye open. Use your intelligence and your intuition. Bye-bye.